I did my bridge internship in a special education classroom at the McCowan Preschool in Beverly. I decided to do my internship here because I am majoring in special education next year and thought it would be a great learning opportunity to gain experience in this department. Some responsibilities I had during this internship was being an extra set of eyes as well as somebody to look up to for the kids. More specifically, I prepared projects, encouraged the kids to clean up one project before starting another, and most importantly, making sure the kids were safe and had assistance when needed throughout the day. On this day, we had indoor recess. The kids liked to be pulled around in a wagon to see who could make it around the gym faster. Another thing the kids liked to do in the gym was play basketball and soccer. In what they called centers, the kids got a schedule of what toys they would play with that day. It was usually either Paw Patrol, sand, Barbies, house area, Legos, or dress up. During this hour, I was responsible for playing with them and making sure they stayed at their assigned station. It was sometimes difficult because the kids would fight over which station they wanted to be at. When this happened, over time, I learned that if I played with them at their station, they wouldn't be distracted by everything else going on in the classroom. A successful habit of mine I experienced at this site that also tied into my experience at IHS is communication. I had to make sure everything I said and every direction I gave was clear and understandable. With some of the kids being nonverbal, it was harder to communicate. Over time, I developed better communication skills that made it easier to communicate with all the kids. When the kids would get antsy and weren't cooperating, we would take them outside to this music wall so they could get their energy out by running around and making a song as a class. Sometimes we would go outside to read a story for a change of scenery and sit on the stump stools. In this area, the kids would plant flowers in the garden and write their names on popsicle sticks and place it next to the flower they planted. We would frequently go check on the flowers. On this day, we got to go outside for recess. Typically, the kids would ride scooters, play on the playground, do chalk, play with balls, play in the sandbox, or just run around. During this time, I was responsible for making sure none of the kids went outside the playground area and ran over to the grass field. I was also responsible for making sure everyone got a fair turn with all the toys so no one would get upset. The kids loved to film themselves and be filmed so they could rewatch it and laugh. Go! Oh, careful! Don't ruin Stacia's! Careful! No, it's okay. She didn't. During blocks, the biggest struggle was when a tower would fall over. The kids would immediately get upset, but I learned that if you offered to help them and make a new one, they would agree and go back to playing. Another responsibility I had throughout the internship was making sure everyone's cubbies were neat and organized. Kids tended to just throw their backpacks and jackets on the floor in front of their cubbies, so I would encourage the kids to go over and hang their coats up and place their backpacks on the bottom of their cubbies. The kids left things like crayons and scissors on the top of their cubbies, and when they would be taken out, I made sure they got put back into the correct cubby. During dismissal, I was responsible for sitting with the kids inside and waiting for their names to be called by the teachers when their car or bus showed up and walking them to the door. Overall, I am very grateful to have had this experience, and I believe it definitely prepared me for my future.